What happened in Sedona in that dimly lit room just blew me away. Look, I was trying to turn around my life. I'd gone through a very difficult period. I'd hit what I called the cliff, and everything I knew about my life just crumbled, and I had to rebuild. And I was making great progress. I'd uncovered these tools. I was working on what I called the 7 pillars, was this new lens. I had the equation. I had the gear shift. I had these tools I built, but there was something that kept hijacking my life. In particular, there was one area I couldn't seem to rebuild a lasting relationship. Somehow, I'll get in a relationship, and after a while, I couldn't commit into the future, and I'd sabotage it, and I just didn't know why. So how do I unlock this? So I came to Sedona, and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna go to traditional therapy. I'm not gonna see a shrink. I'm gonna go see a spiritual counselor. And someone was recommended to me here in this Red Rock town with all these energy vortexes, and I had no expectations. Her name was Elizabeth. I met with her, and we started a session. She said, follow me. She took me downstairs into this dim room and had me lie on, one of these therapy chairs or tables. And she told me to close my eyes and just said, listen to my voice. And I'm typically someone very rational. I have a very hard time letting go. My brain is always there trying to analyze. I've done many exercises over the years, can never let go, but something happened. There was no ingredients, no substances, just her voice. But I was gone. I went, and it was insane. I mean, I won't tell you the whole journey. I can tell them in other videos, just so much happened. I, reconnected with my dead parents, and I saw just some messages from the past that were kind of buried inside of me. And then I reconnected with my ancestors. So just so much happened. But at one moment, I saw this child, sad, sitting on a bed in the dark. And I approached it, and it was just there kind of in a bundle with all this pain inside. And there was something I just recognized in the child, and I just saw that child was me. It was a child inside of me. And suddenly I felt it. I felt the feelings of that child. And it was afraid. It was afraid because it had been hurt. It had been let down. Its heart had been hurt. And I spoke to the child and I said, look through the window. Open the blinds. There's light outside. And what's the risk of going out? And finally, the child got up and opened the blinds and looked through, peered out, then opened the door and walked out. And there's this beautiful field and, just trees and grass. And I remember just seeing the child out there finally opening up to the world and going away from fear. And I felt it, that I was afraid deep inside of being hurt. And through my life, through my first relationship when I was 16 years old, and 2 years, and then it broke off, and it just hurt me so hard. And then I was married, and then the marriage didn't work out. And so I had associated, without knowing, that opening my heart and loving truly meant pain. It meant being hurt. Love equaled pain. So every time I'd enter a relationship, I was trying to rebuild my life. I would find someone who'd be going well. And soon as there was these feelings and the person would talk about the future and what are we going to do for Christmas, I'll just pull back and I'll just break it off. I would sabotage it. And I saw that it was just complete, unconscious, deeper wounds inside of me that were unlocked right here in Sedona in that moment. And there's so much more that happened, but that started this journey of going inward. I realized the power of our unconscious, these memories, these wounds, these experiences we've had that are locked inside. If you're not aware, if you don't understand how your brain works, if you don't understand what it's accessing, you can be sabotaging everything you try to do in your life. And so, whoa, I went on a journey. I went deep. I call this the foundation, going into the depths. And I tried to understand, how does the brain work? I, found the different research, Kahneman with the two systems, system one, the automatic one, unconscious, the fast one, system two, the slow, rational. But then what do these systems access within? And then I came up with this concept of, the core data. There's the pre-programmed you inherited in your DNA. And then there's what they call the soft data. All these experiences, these memories, these stories that you've recorded inside of you. And the amazing thing is memories are not fixed. Every time, there's crazy research about this. Every time you re-access a memory, it's like melted metal. You reform it and you can tweak it and you can change it. And there's actually, mapping they've done and studies on people to show you can completely rewrite these memories. And that's where I saw, oh my gosh, the power of this. Not just the memories and the stories, but also the beliefs I had about myself, about love. There was just this whole part. And it's huge in terms of its impact and how powerful it is. And if you're not aware and you don't understand it, and you're out there trying to optimize your life and do these hacks and these tweaks and work out more and eat better and read books, but if you're not aware of this and you don't go deep into your foundation, you're just scratching the surface. So if you want to find out more, it's all in the book. You can check it out. You can order it, www.the7pillars.com. So much more I unpacked in this crazy journey of transformation I went through. If that was interesting, just put a comment, let me know, and I'll see you in a future video. Thank you for watching.